On Saturdays, we wear black. And on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
I'm all the way through. I got the black jeans too.
And Sunday. Well, at least you got my Birkenstock memo.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we're here. Well, you're there and I'm here.
Yep, we're in two separate places because, quarantine life.
So we weren't filming for the longest time. Then we started filming again for a short time, and then we stopped again. And we miss it. But the good news is we had one film waiting in the archives.
Some lost footage, if you will, that we dug back up and are going to share with you, all about how to organize a kitchen with a few key products from our friends at iDesign.
It's a good one. And I have to say, I always say that, but it's a good one.
Every project is your favorite project. Every film is your favorite one.
Just like every child is my favorite child. Am I right?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so just to reiterate that this video is about a few key products that you can use to organize your kitchen.
Just a few products, just a little bit of rearranging, right?
Yeah.
And we're going to go back in time right now to our friend's kitchen and cameo appearance. I told you what happened if I move my chair this direction. We're warned. Okay, let's try that one more time. So we're going back in time to our friend's kitchen that we organized over the summer, and we can't wait to show it to you.
Okay, so we're here in the kitchen. It's been unpacked. Our friend has been living in the space. And because she's been here for a few weeks now, we can really help figure out what is working and not working. We're gonna go through this kitchen and systemize items. What?
I just hadn't had a laugh attack yet, so that seems like the good time to do it. I held it together so well all morning.
Okay. So we're gonna walk through.
I'm still touched. You were like, no, I'm not gonna.
I know.
If I
relive the hand motions,
if I relive it, I'll never pull it back together. Oh, it's always the hands.
We are going to walk through and see what got placed where, and have a feeling that when we open things, things are going to get moved around just a little bit.
Oh, I'm excited. Let's take a look around.
Where do you want to start?
I want to start right here.
Okay.
So, appliances up high. My only question is, are they heavy? Are they used often?
This seems like a prime place to store baking sheets and cutting boards.
Okay, well, let's see what's down here because maybe those items are down here. I know what you're thinking because I live inside your brain.
Ooh, what am I thinking?
6 years later in this relationship, you want the pots and pans closer to the stove.
I do.
Okay.
All
right. Okay. Sit tight. All right, so we're going to have a handy person help us with this.
Yeah, I don't even want to touch it.
This is...
I have a love-hate relationship with these. It's really like a creative way to maximize dead space in a kitchen, but then, I don't know, it's hard to use them and hard to keep them organized. What I like here, we've got the coffee zone, which is close to the sink, and I'm hoping that there's coffee mugs in here. What do you think?
Absolutely, there are.
Things like this, she's got the whole coffee and tea station. May not need product, it might just need a little bit of zhuzhing and
a little arranging magic. Styling.
Many kitchens have these. The dreaded, what do you call this? Like angled cabinet, corner cabinet. Also love-hate relationship with these. But my favorite organizing product of all time really does the trick in these kinds of cabinets.
Yeah.
It's a spin tray. The hardworking Susan, as we like to call it.
Okay.
Again, a creative use of the space, but kind of dead and prime real estate here. I think we could really take this to the next level in organizing if we get our little spin tray. Okay, so we have under the sink, lots of stuff. We can do magic under here too.
Oh yeah.
Okay, we got the dishwasher to the right of the sink, which is really great for people who are right-handed. Now, in my mind, I think dishes or glassware would go here, but I think, we got dish towels. I would not have expected that there.
Close to the dishwasher and the sink. I understand why it happened.
I get it.
Okay.
Over here, we got everyday dishes. Maybe we need to get an extra shelf cut. Just saying. Ooh, also love-hate with these. These are a really great way to use up a dead corner, but also a really easy way for things to get lost.
Okay, so I just have to add a little disclaimer here. The reason I have a love-hate relationship with a couple of these typical kitchen elements is that we often see them used improperly. I love that they are taking advantage of what would otherwise be unused space, But what happens is people don't know what to put in them, and it either becomes dead space or they use it improperly and then they can't access the things that they put there. So I think it's just the key thing here is making sure that what you're putting in there will be accessible and visible. But otherwise, if you're not doing that, it's not going to work very well.
I think we say accessible and visible in every YouTube video we've ever created and blog post we've ever written. Practically perfect means you can see it and you can grab it, right?
True. And I think for specifically those pull-out shelf things, I don't know, what do you call it? Pull-out drawers. They're often used I think they're meant for spices, right? But what happens is they're made at this bizarre width and strange heights where you put things in and you put things in and then you can't see them. And when you pull it out, all you're looking at is the tops of the spice jars and you don't know which is which. So there's a few key ways that we can fix that. Either you don't put spices in there or you label the spices on the top so you can see which ones they are. Or you adjust the shelves and put things like oils or larger items that you can just readily grab. Am I making any sense?
Yes, it totally makes sense. When we approach a kitchen, every space is different, right? Every space is built out differently. Everybody's belongings are a little bit different. No two kitchens look the same. So we approach each space based on what we've got to work with, and we figure out the most practical solution, which of course will include the visibility and the accessibility.
Okay, and then we've got this under the stove.
Okay, so that's a nice deep space.
Yeah, it's got a lot of space. And then moving over here, I think we have, there's more dishes. Okay. And we've got some glassware.
Beautiful.
And then, what's down here? Ooh, okay, mixing bowls and food prep.
Nice.
Cooking prep tools. I'm just noticing it's going to be hard to access the pans that are back there. And I can imagine a lot of frustration when trying to get things out of this cabinet.
So some of the same challenges in this cabinet.
I think it's a mix of serving ware and a cooking ware. So it's, I think we want to have similar items grouped together.
Like with like, always.
And I think we've got like entertaining, barware, silverware and baking,
and
cooking,
flashlight.
prep tools, flashlight, and candles. We got a lot of categorizing to do here.
So of course, this is a great place to insert drawer dividers. I think there are some here already, but what I'm noticing is that they're not taking up the entire capacity of the drawer.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more space that can be utilized here, and we're going to utilize every single inch. Okay, the last few.
Not too bad. I think the ice cream maker probably doesn't belong in that group.
We'll see. And voila. Okay, so we're going to start imagining where everything should be placed in this kitchen for maximum efficiency so that everything is really streamlined and moving about the kitchen day to day feels very seamless. And once we know where everything is going to live, we're going to decide what kind of products we're going to buy to make it practically perfect. Thanks, iDesign. Okay, we are back in the kitchen. Woohoo! Today is the day we have ordered products from iDesign, and we are going to rearrange items where we know we want them to live in the kitchen and then implement these awesome products.
That is a super important point, is that you want to make sure everything is in its place and in the exact cabinets that you want it before you start placing the product.
Correct. In this kitchen, we did order product before we came to move the items around. That's because we had a very succinct plan. We knew exactly where everything was going to be, and our measurements were on point. And by our, I mean Kit's measurements were on point. I'm not allowed to measure. We made that mistake a few times. Yeah. So we knew exactly what we needed, which is why we ordered it in advance. But for those of you who are organizing at home, we highly recommend that after you edit your items, you know what you're keeping, you place them in their new homes before you buy anything at all.
Do as we say, not as we do.
And also do as we do. This is such a mom thing to say. I'm such an old mom.
Oh, but we are moms. We can't help it. I used to get so mad when my parents would say that to me, but guess what? Now who's saying it to their own kids? Yeah. Did you hear that? Mama goes, ew.
Okay, so little kitchen 101 here in terms of where you place items when you're mapping out the kitchen. Your appliances and your sink are really going to inform the whole layout.
Also, whether you're right or left-handed, don't forget that.
Always.
Super important.
So if you think about your dishwasher, you obviously want your cups and your plates and your everyday silverware that are coming out of there to be within arm's reach, ideally, right?
Ideally,
as close as possible. You don't want to be taking a stack of plates out of the dishwasher all the way across the kitchen. unless you want extra steps, but I still think get them elsewhere. You want your mugs near your coffee maker.
Yes.
If you have a water feature on your refrigerator, you're going to want a drinking glass not too far from there. Pots and pans near the stove. You're certainly going to want cooking utensils to the left or the right of your stove. And then when you think about what you don't use often, look up high, right? Lesser often used items, holiday, special occasion, those can get tucked in less accessible spots, but you want to think about your prime real estate with your everyday items, things that you use a lot.
You just want to make things easy for yourself.
Yeah.
Things that you're using all the time, you want them within close and easy reach.
You want to just float through the kitchen with ease. And now, Kit, I know you're wanting to talk about what we ordered and why.
Oh yes. Well, you know, my favorite organizing product ever is the spin tray.
Mm-hmm.
We like to call it the hardworking Susan.
Yes.
And there was a couple cabinets in here where there was a lot of wasted dead space. And so that's going to really solve for those issues. They also have, what do you call it? It's a corner cabinet with a like spin thing. I'm not going to call it.
A hardworking Susan in there?
It is, but it
a
isn't.
turnabout.
Okay, I like that, a turnabout. But I
think that's a traffic thing.
Also, those are great to like alleviate dead space, but when you're moving them around, things can kind of shift and fall. And so we got these really great containers that are going to like hold those things in place so they're not falling over, falling back in the behind part of the cabinet.
And you know we got some drawer inserts because you know I'm going to get all micro in the drawers.
True.
And some other goodies, a pantry bin.
All kinds of fun
few
stuff.
Assorted sundries, and we'll just implement them all for your delight right now.
Let's do it.
Okay, looking back on the footage that we filmed over the summer, we realized that we kind of failed to explain what it was we were about to do in this part of the video. So this is the we're pulling everything out phase.
Yeah, you have to start with taking everything out. As much as you don't want to, as overwhelming as that seems like it's going to be, that is the best way to start.
So fair warning, this is the it gets worse before it gets better phase.
You get to this point where you're pulling everything out and it looks horrible and overwhelming and you're just like, I can't go on. But it's always worse before it gets better, and then you'll be so happy. And you know, I'm extra excited right now because Joni is de-stickering and handing me, ta-da!
And I'm really excited because de-stickering, which is a verb, is one of my favorite activities. It's very satisfying. I've been burned though. This goes to the like, don't buy things before you know what you need. I have de-stickered items before I was sure that they were gonna work and I was keeping them. And then it's a little bit harder to make a return. So that's just a little learned it the hard way moment. And yoga pants are the perfect spot to stick anything.
They are.
Until you're ready to go to the trash can. Okay, this is for baking.
Okay.
And then cheese.
Yeah, this
wine
is
and
also
cheese.
wine and cheese.
Where would you do the strawberry core?
General food prep.
Okay.
Which.
And then do you want to have these with the special silverware?
Yeah, special silverware.
Okay.
What about, I have serving pieces. Would you put an ice cream scoop with the serving pieces?
I would.
Okay.
Or with like the,
kind of
like I also kind of am like in a party wine and cheese
yeah.
zone. We'll have to see how it all kind of shakes out.
Yeah.
Okay, so there wasn't quite a delineated system in place, and we're hoping to have sort of a drawer for each category. So we were sorting things that were for entertaining, like wine and cheese, accoutrement, and then serving pieces, and baking prep, and cooking prep. And we're hoping to have a drawer for each category.
We got these cool inserts. They are really sturdy and divided, which is great, and they are the perfect size to go into these drawers.
So there's probably needs to be one appliance, one baking, one serving.
Right.
And there's some serving dishes here that we can pull over to.
Right.
So.
But I think there's also serving, entertaining up here. Yes, and then also up here.
Yeah. We're prettying the windowsill, and so I'm putting some vases, and which everyone teases me for saying vase vase. I don't know, comment below. And serving pieces Those are definitely called serving pieces. Vase or vase?
Vase.
Yeah,
You live
me
in
too.
the United States.
Vase. It's a vase. Well, it was a good day.
Yes.
It was a very good day in this kitchen. It feels so much lighter.
It does feel lighter.
We can't wait to show you the full reveal.
I always feel like a little sluggish when we get going, but then once you really get those like creative juices going, moving things around, it's really energizing.
I was gonna say energizing. Super energized.
Okay, so I think one of the biggest, most amazing changes in this kitchen was very, very simple. It was rearranging the everyday dishes so that they were easier to get and also put away from the dishwasher. If you remember, they were over here in this cabinet, which is seemingly accessible, but when you open up the door this way and you're working with the dishwasher this way, it was kind of a difficult thing to get to. So we took their everyday dishes, the ones they're using all the time, and put them here, streamlined that. And these are also dishes that they use somewhat regularly, but not as often, and so they are equally close to the dishwasher, not as easy to like put away or take out, but still in a good space.
If you want to make a big impact in your space, always think about the things that you're using the most often in your everyday routine. And when you change those things to be more functional, every single day will feel more functional. Okay, and speaking of everyday impact, coffee, right? So first thing in the morning, first thing that happens for this lovely lady who lives in this home is that she comes for her coffee and tea, and every morning will now feel practically perfect because we've removed all the items that don't relate to beverage drinking over here in this area and really streamlined. So items are right where they belong. Everything could be seen and reached, especially because we installed this iDesign turntable. So everything can be accessed very easily for the morning routine.
Well, I think you need to add, if you don't mind. I'm just going to jump in here.
Oh, I don't mind. Come on in.
These protein powders are actually put into the coffee every morning. And so they were actually up really high and hard to get to. And so we moved them down here into a much more accessible place because when she's making smoothies, coffee, it's all right here.
In a zone.
In the zone, ready to grab, ready to use.
And we also did a little zhuzh of the open shelving. So we really kind of streamlined it and displayed all of these beautiful white serving pieces, which are used regularly too. So it's a function meets form here, beautiful and functional on the shelves. Dun, dun, dun. Simple placement of an incredibly functional turntable here so that all the cleaning products can be reached very easily. And we took all the duplicate cleaning products and we're storing those in the garage. So we freed up a lot of space. It just feels a lot lighter here now.
You remember what these drawers looked like before?
I do.
These were just minimal drawer organizers that we put in here. And watch what happened. The impact is huge. This is now the food prep drawer. That is now the second set of silverware drawer.
The entertaining drawer, if you will.
Entertaining.
And speaking of entertaining, this is the wine and cheese drawer. We almost always have to make a wine and cheese drawer in a practically perfect kitchen. And a grilling drawer. So this is closest to the exterior of the house where the grill actually is. And these items were actually much deeper into the kitchen that direction. So this way, again, more efficient. A container for the corn holders. Yes.
A huge part of organizing kitchens for us is creating zones. And so in this particular kitchen, there were different items that our friend used to serve and entertain in 3 and 4 different places around the kitchen, tucked up high, because they're lesser used items. But we really wanted to create zones for each thing. So we have a couple of cabinets now that store all of the serveware. We have a couple of cabinets that store all of the appliances and the appliance gadget parts and pieces.
We put sort of all the serving trays together because those are flat and can be easily stacked together. And also, when you're looking for a tray, that they're all in one spot.
It's important to note that it's really not necessary to have product to be able to create these zones. That's really about creating different sections of the kitchen and storing like with like for functionality.
I'll also add that this is like a real kitchen with a real amount of stuff. I know a lot of times we see images on Instagram that are very curated with a lot of product to look a certain way, but it needs to be functional first. And then you can try to make it look pretty. I think this does look pretty, but it's not like the Pinterest perfect style of kitchen. It is just very functionally organized for easy access and easy use.
Okay, here again, it's not about the products in this particular space. It was about rearranging and streamlining.
Yeah, and it's really important for me and for our clients to have their cooking tools in the place where they're going to be using them. So they shouldn't have to be at the stove running around trying to find which cabinet their pots and pans are in. It is just streamlined and right there. So by taking a few key bins, we were able to just house the water bottles in those little bins, and they keep them upright, not falling over. And it's very easy to spin and take out the water bottle that you need and put them away.
And now here is the corner cabinet that was full of stuff falling off all over the place.
And to our client's credit, our friend/client, she did an amazing edit on her plastic Tupperware. She's decided to use mostly stainless steel and glass now, and that gave us a lot of extra space too.
Yes. Cool.
Okay.
So
You're like, yeah, and I want to open the cabinet, Joni. Enough of your propaganda about the environment. Let's go.
Well, speaking of the environment, so all of the like food containers are now down here. And again, lids on. Good reminder, do it all the time. And then up here, iDesign makes these really cool bins that are shaped like specifically for these, what I don't want to call it a turntable or a Lazy Susan, but
Corner cabinet spin-arounds. That's what they're called.
there you go.
The spin-arounds.
These are specific bins made for these kinds of cabinets, so that way you can access and use every inch of space. So we've used these bins to move the dish towels, which used to be in what we're now using as everyday dishes cabinet, down here because it's still close to the dishwasher and the sink. And there also are very limited number of drawers on this side of the kitchen. So this was sort of our creative workaround for that problem.
And so there you have it, another practically perfect kitchen.
It's been really fun showing you how just a few simple products from iDesign can help you reorganize your kitchen into a much more streamlined and functional space.
Yes, and never underestimate the power of just moving things around and rearranging them so that they're in the spot that makes the most sense for you. We have a lot of other cool kitchen content. If you're curious about it, please reach out to us. We're here for you. A huge thank you to iDesign for collaborating with us to help our friend feel settled in her beautiful new home. Congratulations, and just remember,
if it's practical for you,
it's perfect for you.
Well, I have to say, I've almost had as much fun filming on Zoom than I did in person.
I would think that you missed me terribly by your side.
I do miss you terribly, but I didn't think I had missed filming. But now that we're doing this, even though it's via Zoom, I've actually had a good time doing this.
I have too. I didn't have a total laughing fit, but I got in some good. I had some laugh cries.
I think the little Zoom debacles and Zoom bombs, that's what I'm looking for, have brought a little levity to the whole situation here.
Absolutely. We didn't know that we were filming during nutrition and PE, but we are. And soon, we hope soon, light at the end of the tunnel. We are going to be back by each other's sides filming again. So thank you for subscribing and sticking with us, and we look forward to making more content soon.
Thanks for joining.
oh, you're like a real top.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not a real top.
You didn't know. You got to get your hands flying too.